Hello everyone, this is Krishnakant Roy. So today we are going to discuss about data or the information. So what are the various types of data? Now why this types of data, understanding different types of data is important. It is important because whatever research we do, whatever inferences we make, whatever analysis we do, it's all about data. So first we gather information and then we try to understand, analyze, and uh, come up with different inferences. So data, classification of data or understanding of data is very, very important. So in today's session, what we are going to do is we will see all the different types of data, and then we'll see if there are any questions, comments, and all that. Although data, it seems that it is not a very tough phenomena, it is easy to understand, but yeah, there are some complications, there are some issues when we classify various types of data. uh, so let us start with the first type of data, which we call as cross-section data. Cross-section data are observations collected in a single point in time, and the data captures in various subjects, or we call it entities like individuals, firms, countries, etc. So in cross-section data, time is fixed. Time is a single point or very short period of time. Entities, which also can be understood like the subjects, can be multiple. There are many entities which are like individuals, households, firms, etc. Variables can be single, can be double, two, or can be many. So basically, if it is a single variable you are collecting data, you call it univariate data. If it is two variables, you call it bivariate. And if you call more than two variables, you call it multivariable data, multivariate data. So this can be applicable for all the classification of data. One of the example can be you are collecting data of different households and their income, education, and family. So these income, education, and family, these are variables. These are variables. The household, these are the subject or the entities, which varies. All right. So this is one type of data. Remember here, time is fixed. You are collecting data at single point in time. So that is number one, cross-section data. Number two, time series data. Now, time series data are observations collected sequentially over a period of time. These data points are ordered in time and often involved in consistent time interval like daily, monthly, yearly, quarterly, etc. So here also, if you understand this type of data with three different components such as time. In time series data, time is varying. So you collect data at multiple time periods, right? In terms of entities, it's the single entity, means the subject matter is same, fixed. It can be country, company, individual. And variables can be single or multiple or double or whatever. So here the important point in time series is time, you collect data at multiple time periods. That is more important. And entities remains fixed or same, single, and variables can be one, two, or more. So this kind of data is called as time series data. Now the third point of data is called as pooled data. Now in pooled data, it's a combination of cross-section data and time series data. What happens in terms of time, you collect data at multiple time periods. But entities are multiple and also entities can change. For example, at multiple time periods, you're collecting data of household income and expenditure. But first, let's say a period you collect data of family ABC. In the second period, it can be DEF or something like that. And variables definitely can be multiple variables. So this kind of data is called as pool data. Now, within this data, there is another classification of data which is widely used in econometric analysis, which is called as panel data or longitudinal data. So panel data consists of observations of multiple entities such as individuals, firms, and countries over multiple time period. Unlike pool data, panel data involves same entities track over time. So that is very important, that entities are multiple but same. So basically, if let's say I am trying to trace performance of students over last 10 years, so those students will remain fixed, the entities will remain fixed, and I am trying to get their academic performances over a period of time, right? So this kind of data is called as panel data. So these four data are widely used in in quantitative analysis, especially in econometrics, right? So just to quickly summarize, cross-section data collected at a single point in time. So that is important. Time series data collected over a period of time and in sequential order. Pool data, combination of cross-section and time series data, but entities can change. In panel data, of course, combination of cross-section, time series, but the entities remains same. So these are four different types of data which are widely used. Now, why this is important? Why we are trying to classify data? Because once we understand the type or the classification of data, we can apply various statistical and econometric techniques, because different data can be handled or can be analyzed with different strategies, with different techniques, statistical techniques, right? So over and above, there are few more types of data. If you think about data, I'll quickly just go through all those types of data. For example, one is spatial data. So spatial data is related to geospatial data. For example, you're trying to collect data of hospitals in Maharashtra. So, and hospitals, and with respect to the hospitals, their latitude and longitude. So these hospitals are located in different spaces. So you're just trying to understand, okay, how these, where, how, what is the distance between one and two, what are their latitude, longitude, and all that. So this kind of data, when you calculate and observe, it is called as spatial data. Another data is, you call it event data, which is referred to the occurrence of different events at a specific time. For example, number of accidents which are happening at this time, this location, this highway, etc. These kind of data is called as event data. This is event based. Um, Another type of data is, again, this is widely used, which is called as text data. So text data is also called as unstructured or semi-structured textual information. Let's say I'm involved in some kind of qualitative research where I'm interviewing some people, and those interviews are mostly open-ended questions, or maybe semi-structured questions. And then I'm trying to understand some phenomena. So these kind of information is called as text data. There are many other strategies also apart from interviews. Those are like focus group discussion, etc. Um, Another type of data is network data. I mean, you must have heard about network analysis. So network data is a data representation, the relationships, the connections between entities, right? Often visualized as a graph with nodes and edges. How? Let's say I'm trying to collect a data that from this there are districts and there are states and there are countries, how they are connected to each other for certain phenomena. So this kind of data is called as network data. And another, it is very similar to panel data, which is also called as longitudinal data. For various years, individual weight, blood pressure, and something like that. So that is longitudinal data, which is, I'm not elaborating upon it because it is similar to panel data. Another data is also called as hierarchical data. So you can see, let's say there are different schools, there are different classes, there are different students. So how this hierarchy of data are collected and analyzed. So which you can say that different levels, different students, different classes, within classes, different, you can say that districts and all that. So this kind of data is called as hierarchical data. So these are various types of data. Maybe you can uh, take a pause and you can think about any kind of information that you have in front of you, and can you classify in any of these data whatever you have learned. And if you have any other type of data which, let's say, it is not covered in these classifications or these types, do write in the comment section, and maybe I'll cover that. So thank you very much for listening. I hope this types or classification of data will be useful for you. Thank you.